I'm really starting to believe that we're taking life too serious. And I know that statement may sound harsh and insensitive because there are people out here that their life is serious, at least at the moment. What do we got? We got victims of crime. We got people that are born with incurable diseases. It's some kids that are born in hostile environments and dysfunctional families. But are we here to just drown in our misfortunes and just live in misery? Hit the like button. One of the main sources of us being sad and depressed, the thief of joy, comparison. Guess what? We all know it. Society tears us down on a regular basis and reminds us that we're just a regular person or maybe even below average. What is the beauty standard for a woman? She got to have the perfect body. She got to be naturally beautiful. She got to have her own hair. She got to be a certain height. And we all by now we all know the description of a perfect man. The perfect height. He got to be muscular. He got to be handsome. He got to have a beard. And below that beard, he got to have a perfect jawline. And it's sad to say that most of us are not going to reach that level of perfection, okay? It's impossible. The perfect example is if you are an unattractive man, a short, unattractive man, yeah, you can get into shape, go to the gym 7 days out the week, 2 times a day, okay? But when you're in shape, you're just gonna look like a Ninja Turtle. And it is impossible for women to have that beauty standard too, because let's just talk about the body, for instance. That's why a lot of women run to surgery to get their body how they want it to, because if you got a bad body, you got a bad body. For a woman, there ain't much you can do. Yeah, you'll get smaller and slim down, but if your body kind of weird, you're gonna have a, but let's say you do reach that level of perfection and you are the higher standard or above average as far as looks, okay? The question is, would you be happier? Not necessarily. Do you know why? I know it's gonna sound cliche, but life is about love. That's why after a breakup with somebody you love dearly, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you don't care about anything else but that person. You wanna know why? Because it's about love. That's what we're here for. I sound like a hippie. Exactly, Mr. Les. It don't matter how nice you look. You can have the perfect body, the perfect face, your own hair, for a man, the perfect height. That does not guarantee you love, okay? Even if you're a good person, that don't guarantee you love. Have you been on a date lately? Me neither. Finding love is nearly impossible nowadays. And I'm not gonna find a woman online because those women are very particular. I understand that they're very particular on what they want because you're pretty much on the dating apps, they're asking you, what do you want in a man? And of course, you're not gonna lie and be like, oh, I want this. No, you're gonna tell the truth, okay? And what those dating sites do, the algorithm, they'll try to fit certain men in that description and only show you those type of men. I think that's how it works. I don't work there. Long story short, if the high standards on dating apps are a thing, then most of us men, average men, are not gonna meet those criteria. And I don't get out much, okay? I don't really go anywhere, so that's my fault, but I'm not gonna meet any women sitting in the house. Most of my serious relationships I've had were from women that I've dated that I work with. And that is over with too, because those sexual harassment classes that we have to take are pretty much telling us, don't even try to give a little advances that you're interested in somebody because you could be fired and sued sometimes. I ask her on a date, she says no. The next day I get a call from HR. I'm good on that. But being attractive and lonely is not the only thing that's making society as a whole unhappy. You know what else is bothering us and making us depressed? The lack of money. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. If you are not financially stable, it will have you run away from happiness just as well, because it's difficult to be happy when you have a dead-end job. It's hard to be happy when you have to eat nasty food for dinner because that's all you can afford. I got one more. It's hard to look on the bright side when your lights are about to get turned off or when your car breaks down. And when your car breaks down, you have to use rent money to pay for your car to get fixed so you can go back to work because that's how you make. Chill. And then on top of all that unnecessary stress, you get made fun of for being broke. Which makes no sense to me because 95% of us in this world, let alone in America, are broke. So most likely you'll get made fun of for being broke from somebody else that's broke. Does that make any sense to anybody else? But I still had to ask myself, am I taking life too serious? Negativity is inevitable. Bad things are always gonna happen. That's why most of us are quick to embrace negativity more than we embrace positivity. As I said before at the beginning, the nice little intro I did, we're surrounded by crime, corruption, people that are careless, and it's up to us to find the beauty in all that. And it's not always easy. And thanks to my favorite thing called survival's guilt, the #1 buzz killer, making you feel bad for surviving and making it out of a terrible situation. If you were lucky enough to have the good looks and be surrounded by people that love you and have a significant other that looks nice, and you got you some money, you can't even enjoy it for real. I mean, you technically can enjoy it, but if you're a decent person, it's gonna be hard for you to enjoy it, especially when you know all this negativity and sadness is around you. Now, I was blessed with not really having to deal with survival's guilt because, well, I guess it's not a blessing because I've always been average or teetering off of below average my whole life. Even when I had a little bit more though, like if I was the only one in the group that had a car, yeah, I would kind of feel bad, but my way of giving back is giving them rides to wherever they need to go, especially if I'm in that same direction. Survivor guilt is a real thing. I think it needs to be talked about more, but most people that are successful, they kind of just separate themselves, and they might even, that's why they leave their old location, because they don't want to be reminded of what may be still there. That is something to think about. But then I had to ask myself, am I taking life too serious? Happiness is the ability to find beauty in this dark world. No, that is not a real quote. I made it up. We have to discuss another thing that may be making us unhappy. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are addicted to negativity. Yes, I think we are addicted, which makes sense to me. Just really think about it for a second. If life was going great and you didn't have survival's guilt and you had all the good looks and all that stuff I named at the beginning of the video, let's say all that did go well, life would probably be boring. And that may be why women don't like 9-to-5 men. There's no excitement. It's kind of predictable. You go to work, you come home, you're off these couple of days and you're broke. That's pretty predictable. It's boring. When things are going right, it's boring. Plus, we need negativity to turn us into strong people. You have to have things to overcome so you can be a better person. So we need that balance, whether we like it or not. Because too much pleasure and happiness makes you weak. Too much negativity, even though sometimes it can be exciting, like your favorite movie, if it, has to have negativity in it for you to even be intrigued and be on the edge of your seat. Too much negativity can make you sad, which in turn will make you mad and take life too serious. My question to you is, when are you going to choose happiness? When are you going to choose to live every day like it's your last? Yes, most of us are dealt a terrible hand. And when we compare ourselves to others that we think are doing better, it's going to hurt our feelings. Your life, yeah, you can see the negativity in it, but turn those lemons into lime. That's not right. Turn those lemons into lemonade. Life can be dark, but it also can be beautiful. Make the best of it. You only live once. When you really think about it, everything that truly upsets us was created by man. The best things in life are free. That's all I got.
It ain't many of us. I told him less is more, plenty of